The following segment is sponsored by Creative Society.
Air conditioners have a lot of moving parts that make noise, but if you notice that your AC is suddenly louder than normal, there's likely an issue. Shawn Mcgraw from American Veteran Air Conditioning is with us this morning. Hi, Shawn.
Good morning, Margaret. How you doing?
Doing well. Good to see you. You know, if somebody hears sounds like a buzzing, a rattling, a grinding coming from their unit, that's no good. And we're about to go over each one, but real quick, give us a general talk about what tends to cause the sounds.
Well, generally what tends to cause it is something breaking. And you're right that you need to be aware of how it normally sounds, just like when you drive your car every day. You're generally aware, when your dad or your mom first started teaching you to drive, they said, you need to pay attention to how this sounds. When it starts sounding abnormal, we need to know before something worse happens. Same thing with an AC unit. We want to pay attention to those small sounds first, so we're not affecting something major down the road.
All right, so you get used to the normal sound, but then maybe you hear a buzzing sound, and you said buzzing normally indicates some kind of electrical issue. What could be happening with the electrical?
It does, and it depends on where you're hearing that at. So if you're hearing it inside, you know, it could just be a weak circuit breaker on there that's not tripping all the way. It might not be feeding the proper voltage to your unit. So resetting that breaker could do you some good. If it does fix it, then I would recommend having someone look at it still, because there's a reason things fail. Outside or even inside the air handler, the basics of how we operate air conditioners is we use small parts to control big parts. So we use contactors, relays, capacitors, everything in there so we can control the major components inside that system. And that's a good thing because the smaller parts are cheaper, but when they do fail and it's not attended to, now it's going to cause some catastrophic failure to your system, and that's what we want to avoid.
All right. What about, people might call and they would talk about a rattling noise coming from their indoor or outdoor unit there. What's your thought on a rattling noise?
Rattling noises, it could be your neighbor's kids throwing rocks in your air conditioner. I know I did that as a kid. Don't tell my parents. But, but also it could be signs of plenty of other things. Just a fan blade outside. These are spinning nonstop all the time. They take a lot of stress with the wind resistance. If they get bent, they'll start rattling. They'll start shaking that unit a lot. That's not something you want to continue. Just like an out of balance wheel in your car or anything like that, if that starts vibrating, the more harmonic vibration we get inside that unit that it's not made for, it's going to start affecting different things. So we'll go up on units and actually find where the whole top of the unit's been cracked. But it could have been solved just by a fan blade. The other thing we look at is bearings on the motors outside and inside. Most of them are sealed bearings right now, being that there's no oil ports for them, but you also have some that aren't made to be sealed or that need to be oiled on a regular basis. Any professional that you got going out there on your regular maintenance should be regularly doing that for you, and that's not a big thing. But you do want someone that knows what they're doing, because you also have drain ports on a motor. So there's plugs in there, and we come across this a lot on motors that have been replaced, where I'll go in there and it's a brand new motor. They can't figure out why it failed after 6 months. Well, they never pulled the drain port out. Well, that motor's creating heat, and if you know anything about basic physics, if you've got heat and moisture together, it's going to start condensating on metal. That's what's going to happen. So it won't take long before you've got moisture inside your windings and inside the bearings, and it starts freezing that up.
Okay, and you're talking about motors now. Is that when I'm hearing grinding noises, would that have to do with fan motors?
Correct. Those motors, a lot of times it's just the lack of oil in them. Sometimes it is completely seized up. We need to change the motor out. But with that fan motor going out, even though that is more of a major component, it all works together. So if that's not attended to and it's just grinding and not spinning at full speed, pressures rise, amperage rise, and basically the stress on that system comes up, and now we've taken a lot of life out of the system.
Okay, so overall, we might be hearing a problem before we start to feel the change in our air temperature. But for anybody who's not familiar, give us that overview of American Veteran Air Conditioning. How do you operate? What's your mission?
Well, the way we operate is it starts with our team, and we put a lot of effort. We've assembled a fantastic team that is, in my mind, you can't compare it to anybody. They're the best team of professionals you ever come across. So from the moment they arrive at your house, put a red carpet out, shake your hand, give you a fist bump, whatever we do these days. It's a personal relationship with you at that point. And we're asking you questions. We're trying to make sure that we're addressing all your concerns. I tell my technicians all the time, if all you did was go out there and fix the air conditioner, well, that's what you paid us to do. So we want to go beyond that. We want, when we leave your house, for you to be going, wow, that was different. I never expected service like that in my life. And now we have a customer for life with you. I want a relationship with you. I don't want to just pick your pockets or shake you upside down and see how many quarters I can get to come out of your pocket. That's not the purpose of us being there.
And I think that comes across every time we talk to you. That's why people love doing business with you. So anybody watching this can contact American Veteran by calling the number on screen, 435-0822, or visit the website, AmericanVeteranAC.com. Shawn, anything else on your mind before we let you go today?
No, just keep loving on each other. We're still getting fed hate and animosity in every news feed that I come across. No offense to Fox or any other network out there, but it just seems like all that we come across. And there's so much good in the world, and we're part of that. So if we could do something, get out of our way a little bit and do something awesome for somebody, even something little. Just tell Margaret that she looks wonderful today. Put a smile on your face. That's just going to feed through the rest of your day and to the people you encounter. So just encouragement.
It goes a long way. Take care of one another. Shawn Mcgraw from American Veteran Air Conditioning, thanks so much for being here. We look forward to talking to you again soon.
Yes, ma'am. Take care. Bye.